You're listening to a special edition of the Just Go Bike podcast. That's AKA Murph.
And that's AP. And this is the podcast where we talk about cycling just for the fun of it. With tales from all across the nation, come for the bikes, stay for the fun, and leave with a smile.
On this special edition, we are going to provide you with daily tales from the trail as we ride our bikes across the state of Iowa as a part of RAGBRAI LI.
We apologize in advance for any background noise. We'll be live each episode.
Well, hey, Murph.
Hey, how's it going, AP?
Oh, it's great. I'm in the middle of a perfect day of bike riding.
Yes, I am wearing, I guess you call them hippie glasses. I've got a necklace with a peace sign on it. I've got tattoos all over me. I've got stickers. I mean, maybe, I don't even know if listeners can guess where we are.
Well, I'm just going to tell them we're in Fairfield, Iowa right now.
Yes, we have an extra long day today. It's 85 miles, the regular route, plus the Karras Loop, plus, of course, 2 gravel routes today. So we are coming to you with a midday podcast, and then we'll circle back tomorrow on our final episode and tell you what happened at the end of the day.
Yeah, we just want to make sure that we have enough time to enjoy the towns that we're visiting and show them off on social media properly and just see all there is to see. So we're taking a chance to record midday on this ride. Tomorrow is our last day and it's a little bit shorter, so we'll have plenty of time. I know.
Wow.
But anyway, we'll come to grapple with those feelings later.
Yes. So like I said, 84.8 miles today, Ottumwa to Mount Pleasant, and it is 3,160 feet of climb. And we've definitely been doing some climbing so far today.
Yeah, I felt like today was one of the more difficult days of climbing, honestly.
Yeah,
so far.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I want to go back to Ottumwa from yesterday. We had a blast last night, had Italian food, and then we went to a really cool, I don't know what you call it, activity bar.
Yeah.
Like where you pay by the ounce for your beverages, but then also they have like all these virtual games.
Yeah. We did shooting games like with a rifle.
Which I think I won the first round, but you won the second round.
I think you won both rounds, but I think you're trying to be nice to me. Murph's a dead eye.
But then I also wanted to, we missed saying this yesterday, but when you come into Ottumwa, your last final couple of miles will be actually on a bike path, which kind of lets bikes and vehicle traffic play well without mixing together. But everything will be clearly marked. There'll be volunteers, so no worries there. But it's just kind of a cool, something different.
It's definitely unique to Ottumwa. It allows us to bypass cycling on a busy traffic road, and the bike path brings you directly to the main campground. It's a beautiful shady campground.
Gosh, it's beautiful.
Yeah. It's a legitimate, like a real place that you would camp normally, outside of RAGBRAI. So it's kind of a treat in that way.
A normal campground. Okay, so this morning we leave from Ottumwa and we ended up in the town of Agency, and that was just a little 8-mile stretch.
Yep, a little hop, skip, and a jump. But we took care of several. I didn't take a note of how many hills we took care of in that section, but we had a number of them where we just sort of wake you up kind of hills. Again, even though I said the hills today were a little bit more difficult than other days, it's nothing you can't handle at this point in the ride.
Right. Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. I will say, I thought I have trained for this pre-ride more than I've ever trained for any pre-ride, and I think I could have used some more hill training for this. So I just want to remind you, even if you're regularly training, get a couple more hills and do another exercise where you're out there just specifically trying to climb hills, whatever hills that means for you in your neighborhood.
I agree.
All right. So we went to Agency, and Agency's theme is Agency Nice. So there were smiley faces everywhere, including our own faces.
Yes, there were.
Yep. So Agency is the resting place for Chief Wapello of the, I believe he's in the Sac and Fox tribe. Oh. So that was kind of cool history. And he's buried next to his good friend, General Joseph M. Street, and his family. So there's a little history going on in Agency, which is kind of neat. I thought I'd tell you now because first thing in the morning, it would be hard to remember for me.
Okay, so from Agency, we cruised into Eldon, and that was 9.5 miles. And Eldon, you may know already, that name may be familiar to you because it's the home of the famous American Gothic house.
Yeah. So it is the the house that was painted in the background of the American Gothic by Grant Wood. Mm-hmm. So that is pretty neat. This is our first time visiting Eldon as RAGBRAI.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. The American Gothic house is really, really cool. It is not directly on the road bike route. It is directly on the gravel bike route, but they have it set up so that you can go over there on the road bike and then come back. Mm-hmm. It is extremely close to the route. When I say, usually I don't recommend stuff that's even kind of away from the route, but it is like a block off of it. So 100% worth the trip just for the quick photo op.
Yeah.
And to see a little piece of history. So totally recommend that.
Yep. And then before you leave Eldon, you have to make sure they have one of those huge welcome to Eldon banners on the side of a building, which was really cool for photo ops. And then they also have a huge penny farthing, and it's bright yellow. Yeah. It's not something that you would actually ride, but it's perfect for photos.
Yeah. And I would be remiss if I did not say that as we approached Eldon, we had a fire truck escort today.
It was amazing.
It was really cool. They had the siren on the whole time. What did they say the name of that truck was? Big Proud Mary?
Proud Mary, I believe.
It was pretty cool. And I don't know if I've ever had a fire truck escort before. We've had police escorts.
Yeah.
But it was really special.
They said that fire truck was worked in somewhere in New York. And then they ended up purchasing it and revamping it, and Proud Mary's now living in Eldon.
And Proud Mary's looking good, and she's from the 90s, so they've had her refurbished a couple times and looking good. So anyway, we enjoyed ourselves in Eldon. We ate ourselves silly.
Oh my gosh, they had such good food, and it was basically we were sampling all the things that they're going to be offering riders. So they had these it was maybe the size of a hot dog, but it was a pancake with bacon on it, and it was wrapped in tinfoil. Yeah. And so when you open it up, you're like, what the heck is this? It was delicious.
Yeah, it was like a little piece of bacon wrapped in pancake, and the pancake was well cooked.
It was so good. Yeah.
Yeah, so they'll be offering that in aid of the fire station, so that'll be really cool.
Okay, so like you said, it was our very first time being escorted into town by a fire truck, but then here comes along Selma, Iowa.
Yeah. In Selma, we rolled in and we had a nice little break in the park next to a log cabin.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. So I'm not sure how many RAGBRAI plans they're going to have. It's our first time in Selma, and they're unincorporated. Yep. But they're one of the 11 villages of Van Buren, which is a collection of really historic villages, and the log cabin is a part of that. It was super beautiful. It's a super nice place to take a break. Make sure you eat in Agency and Eldon, and then just relax in Selma.
And it was a pretty short cruise. It was like 5 miles.
Yes, 5 miles. Yeah. So no big. Yep. But then we went into Libertyville.
And go ahead, say it.
We had a fire truck escort in Libertyville as well, and it was awesome. The guys that run the fire station there are my friends from the pass-through town meeting, so they showed us a good time.
It was awesome. Yes, there's and listeners know by now that there's all kinds of photos on social media of AP in fire trucks, on fire trucks, in front of fire trucks, the works.
But this one is special because it is in my pass-through town presentation, so they have all the towns see this fire truck all the time. Yeah. So now I was able to take an updated photo that will be added to my presentation, which is kind of cool.
Oh, that is awesome.
I also wanted to say, as we went into Libertyville, we saw a parade of Dodge Power Wagons.
Yeah,
which is the type of historic car. There were like 25 or 30 of them all in a row. It was really, really neat. And I don't know cars, so to describe them, I would say they look kind of almost military-like, and they're sort of lifted. And they're kind of a truck SUV kind of thing. If you're not familiar with them, Google them. They're very cool, unique-looking vehicles.
And there were some military ones in there in the mix.
Yeah,
so
and I think they were as surprised as us as we were by them, because apparently they do an event here in Fairfield on the regular, so, or at least every year. So it was a part of that, but I didn't get any footage of it because I was cycling, but it was really cool.
We were all waving. They were all waving. Yeah. It was a pretty cool deal.
It was a special moment.
And then while we were at the firehouse, they gave us a little tour on a tractor, and we had a wagon that all of us were sitting in. And so we were able to go tour where all the vendors are going to be, and where the bike shop is going to be, and the porta potties and the music, all the entertainment. So that was great to see.
Yeah, it was really cool to stop in Libertyville. Definitely going to go there on the RAGBRAI, and everything will be in the city park for you. So just hop on over there, and enjoy. It's one of my favorite places to stop on RAGBRAI, among a lot of other really good places to stop on RAGBRAI. So be sure to budget time on this day so that you can really be in the towns and obviously RAGBRAI is a cycling event, but it's also a celebration of the communities we pass through. So,
yep. And from there, it was to the lunch town, right?
Yep. Here in Fairfield,
Iowa.
I forgot to say Libertyville's theme is Country Roads Take Me to Libertyville.
Oh,
so
okay.
I dare you not to sing the Country Roads Take Me Home song, but.
And then to Fairfield, we got another escort, this time by one of the police officers, maybe the only, I'm not sure.
Yeah, we had a police escort today, but this was the first time that we had a female police escort.
That's right.
That was really cool. Just a little bit something different.
And there was a tiny moment on our trek in when 3 of the 4 women that are pedaling pre-ride were up front.
So
too bad we didn't get a documented photo of that.
We're going to have to try to do that for sure. It was really cool. And Fairfield, their theme is Woodstock, Peace, Love, Pedal. So
that's why we're wearing all the fun trinkets and stuff.
The hippie garb. So I'm going to wear as much of that as possible as we continue on.
Yep. And we had an amazing lunch, sampled some of the things that they're going to be offering to riders when they come through.
Yeah, I had a buffalo chicken wrap and some pie, and there was some rolled ice cream that was really good. So Fairfield isn't a pro at hosting RAGBRAI. They have a wonderful town square, so they're going to show you a really good time, and there'll be another place that you're going to want to spend a lot of time in the downtown.
And from there, we have 3 more pass-through towns, I believe, and then into Mount Pleasant. So should we maybe just give a brief overview, Andrea?
Yeah. So next we go to Brighton, which is the home of Lake Darling. We're pretty excited to be there, and we have been to Brighton before. So this is where we end on the towns that we have passed through before or have never gone to before.
Okay.
And it looks like a lot of the stuff for Brighton is going to be a fundraiser to put up a new LED display sign for their town.
Oh, okay.
So that'll be kind of a cool fundraiser for them.
Sure.
Hopefully you can support that. They're selling T-shirts. They're going to have some vendors. They're going to have all sorts of different kinds of snacks for you there. So looking forward to Brighton.
And then it looks like it's about 9 miles. It's fun to look at this now, right? Because
I know.
This is where we're going this afternoon.
This is actually a preview for our vacation as well.
Exactly. Wayland is the next community. And I think I already said it, but it's about 9 miles from Brighton.
Yeah.
And let's see. I think Andrea is looking up some amazing fact about Wayland.
Yeah. And I would recommend looking up all the town's Facebook pages. Almost all of them have pages right now. So you're able to get a sneak peek beyond what we're even able to tell you about the specific plans of the towns. Wayland RAGBRAI's theme is going to be Pedal to Our Porch, which is kind of cool. So I would love to go at this point in my ride, really love to hang out on a porch. So they have a museum there, and it's also home to Mariah Jepsen, who used to work for RAGBRAI. So that's my favorite fun fact about Wayland. Yeah. So we'll be looking forward to that, and we'll let you know a little bit more about our activities there
tomorrow. Yep. And then Trenton is 7 miles from Wayland. And I do see their theme. I know you always say the themes, Andrea, but this one looks fun. You can't ride straight through.
Yeah, and I'm extremely curious to see what that means.
Yeah, we'll find out.
I think they have a windy road in the middle of town, but we'll see.
Okay.
So I think this is a good time to remind you. Today we had a couple of incidents on the bike, nothing dangerous, but someone ran over something earlier today. We don't want to talk about it, but it's really important that when you're riding in a group, you practice riding in a straight line as much as possible. Things will come up, maybe a rock, maybe an animal, maybe something will come up into your way. And you need to be able to deal with that without swerving into other cyclists when you ride in a large pack of riders. Another one of our riders had their chain pop off and in a packed rider situation. So it's really important. I just want to remind you to call that out when something happens unexpectedly, and to, as much as possible, not stop immediately in front of someone and just keep rolling safely off the side of the road.
For sure. Yeah. Yes. And today there was definitely some road issues that will either be, they'll for sure be addressed.
Yes.
Maybe they'll be fixed, maybe they won't, but some center cracks, some curvy cracks, some potholes. So definitely, like you said, make sure that you're riding in a straight line, you're calling out all of that stuff.
It's hard to practice the unexpected, of course, but calling out and just being aware of your surroundings go a long way towards helping with that. So All right, so from there, we're going to roll into Mount Pleasant, and their theme is make yourself at home, and I plan on doing that.
And that last stretch is 11.6 miles.
Yeah. So as I've mentioned in the podcast before, Mount Pleasant is home to the Midwest Old Threshers Reunion. So they have over 100,000 people there every year for this festival. They're ready for us. Cool. They are old hat at hosting festivals. So I know our last night on RAGBRAI 51 is going to be just wonderful. It's going to be perfectly set up for us. They know exactly how to host us. So I'm excited for that. I can't wait to see what they have in store for us on the pre-ride, as well as I heard there was going to be a surprise. So we're going to have to fill you in on that tomorrow.
Okay, we'll tell you tomorrow. Yeah. And then to wrap things up, there were 2 optional gravel routes today. The first one was 4.4 miles and the second one was 3.9. And both of them were very lacking in elevation because it looks like 100 feet was the first one and 126 feet of climb on the second one. So
those slackers.
Yeah. And both gravel options are complete by the time you get to Selma.
Yeah. This is also the Karras Loop day on RAGBRAI. So if you'd like to get to 100 miles, this Karras Loop will take you to, I believe it's 100.4 miles.
Oh, that's
it's nearly an exact century. And of course that doesn't include if you have to go to your campsite or not. But But so it's going to be a great challenge. We'll have some riders do that. Murph and I will be busy doing social media in the town, so we're not doing the loop, or at least I'm not. Mm-hmm. So we'll ask them to report to us and we'll fill you in tomorrow on that.
Yes.
The other theme of today on RAGBRAI 51 is Mr. Porkchop Jr. Day. Our friend Matt Bernard passed away earlier this year, so we're going to celebrate him on this day of RAGBRAI. We haven't really announced what we have in store for that right now, so I'll keep that one in the bag, but stay tuned. It'll definitely be a celebration because he was friends to so many people on the ride, and
for sure,
almost universally beloved. So I do know his family recently announced that they will be slinging pork chops on the ride so that you'll be able to get your chop. So don't worry about that. And hopefully connect with his family members if that's something you'd want to do, to share some memories and have some good times. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, we should wrap it up. We got to get back on our bikes.
You know what we got to do? Just go bike.
Well, listeners, that's it for today. We both want to thank you for tuning in to listen to this special edition of the Just Go Bike podcast.
And if you would like to contact us with a comment about the podcast, or maybe you have a topic in mind, you can reach us at Just Go Bike on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
You can also find us this year on Ride with GPS.
That's right. We'll be live logging the entire route inspection pre-ride with our Wahoo bike computers, then sending the data over to Ride with GPS, and you can find us online.
Please rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast, especially if you're a fan.
All right, that's a wrap, and we'll be back soon. Until then, just go bike!